and welcome to a special feature from the Stellar Mengele Foundation. Today, we invite you into a story of transformation, one that is empowering women across Kenya, Africa, and beyond. Stellar Mengele Foundation's mission goes beyond just supporting mothers. It's about empowering women through education, economic opportunity, and access to vital resources. Creating stronger, healthier communities. Stay put as we delve into the inspiring journey, bold vision, and real-life impact of the Stellar Mengele Foundation through the eyes of its founder, Director Stellar Mengele.
So introduce yourself, then tell us what was in your mind about that idea of Stellar Mengele Foundation.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Auntie Stellar Mengele, Gift Connect's Global Ambassador for Early Childhood Development, an enthusiast of children and all things to do with children. I am also the president of Stellar Mengele Foundation and the vice president of Gift Connect International. I am happy today to be sharing my story with you. The journey of having a foundation that works around early childhood development, mothers and other caregivers came to me when I got my first child, my first biological child. I came from the hospital, and when I got home, I had imagined, because I had a very difficult pregnancy, I had thought that it gets easier. And then when I got the baby, and I was privileged to get a child in a very good facility, very well equipped, even medical doctors that helped me to learn a few things, I discovered that becoming a parent is something many of us are not well prepared for. We are not taught or trained enough to know how to handle our children and how to give the best to them. And on my way home from the hospital, I kept wondering what this journey was going to look like, being a mother, having a child who I must feed, I must bathe, I must raised to be a good and successful human being. And that is when I said, I need to do something to enable other mothers have a better experience at raising children, because I was green. And at the moment when I was blessed with my first child, I knew that I wanted better for my child. I wanted my child to tell a story of a happier childhood, a healthier childhood. And I wanted to see my child become the best version of themselves. And so I went into reading and researching and studying about early childhood development. And I got to discover the science, of the brain, and that 70% of human brain is fully developed by age 3. And that took me into further shock. I was like, wow. So by age 3, most of what a human being becomes when they are older is already determined by their experiences and by how their first 3 years are. And I knew not many parents had this kind of information. And I wanted to share this information with the parents that were near me and even beyond, so that they can know better and do better at raising their children. Starting the work of early childhood development in having Stellar Mengele Foundation are two journeys. Early childhood development became a strong passion of mine when I became a mother. I knew I wanted my children to tell a better story a positive story, a happy story, a story of hope, a story of love when they are older. And I knew I didn't have the opportunity to tell that story. I don't have a childhood story of love. I don't have a story of abundance. I do not have good memories of my childhood. And so that birthed the passion to do everything within my means, to study, to research, to work towards equipping myself as a mother to give a better childhood to my child, because I discovered also the foundation of a human being determines how they turn out when they are older. So now the journey of early childhood development started when I became a mother. The journey of having Stellar Mengele Foundation came a little bit later. In my journey of parenting, I started having children come into my space and play with, my child. Sooner, God would bless me with two of my elder sister's children who had passed on, and I had a family of many children. I also had adopted or fostered several other children, and so I was raising very many kids. And I knew that you can never raise a child in isolation. My child needed to have happy playmates, happy neighbors, happy siblings, and happy schoolmates, so that he can also be happy. I learned also from my sister that the best company you can ever give your child is other children. And so for me to impact my child positively, I needed to be in a healthy mental and health condition. I needed to have a happy, healthy environment for my child. I needed to have happy neighbors and friends and playmates for my child. And so in that whole period, I was working in Siaya County those days, and the first lady of Siaya County then had started a project that was educating mothers on nurturing care and the importance of the years between birth to 5 in a human being's life. She was equipping mothers with information of what to do and the things that they must engage in for their children to turn out well. It's called nurturing care. There was an NGO at that point which was supporting her work, and I looked at it and I knew it was God telling me what I must do. I remember where I grew up, which is mostly semi-arid area, a bit dry, a few struggles, a lot of struggles, and parents hustle the whole day for them to make it, to bring food home. They do not have a lot of quality time with children, so children grow up most of the times with relatives and other friends. And I researched, and there had never been an organization that was strictly pursuing early childhood development in Kitui County. And so I prayed and I asked God to help me find the way through counsel of my co-director, who's called Musenya, and a friend of mine called Velma, who's also a lawyer. We thought it best at that time to establish a non-profit organization under my name, because I also had been in the public space for over 20 years, being a musician, a gospel musician, had become a household name. Many people knew my journey, many people believed in me, and so we registered the Stellar Mengele Foundation. It went through at the government registrar. I can remember the day we got the registration. It was a very, very happy moment. And then at the same time, miraculously, God had connected me with friends and partners who were willing to walk the journey with me. An organization called Gift Connect, which is based in America. And we started the journey of impacting lives, and here we are today. So that's the journey of Stellar Mengele Foundation and the journey of early childhood development.
Were there any challenges, and if any, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, challenges were there. setting up, getting the organization registered. You know, you start with doubting yourself. There are very many organizations in this country. Why me? Do I really have to register this organization? Shouldn't I work under other organizations? At some point I thought, we have too many non-profit organizations in this country. I do not want to have an extra one. The idea of foundations has also been abused and misused by people. And I have been raised in very strict morals. And I knew I do not want to be part of a story of, you know, not doing what an organization is started to do. So I struggled with the idea of, do I fit into other people's organization and do the work that I want to do? Do I really have to start? Then we got into the decision that we need to have the organization. Now, starting it, having an organization registered is a very strict legal process. Gratefully, I had again the guidance of two very dear lawyers, my sister Hulda, who is also a co-director, and our friend and sister Mama, who's an advocate of the High Court. They supported me very, very seriously. After registration, we had to get KRA registration, and to find an office space, had to get staff. You are one of the officers we have in the foundation, Kim.
Yes.
And so getting to know who are the right people to employ, to work with, to volunteer for your organization, getting them to buy your vision. And then the other challenge was now starting the work. Gladly, I still thank, you know, God, because we had made a good name, you know, before we started the foundation. And so the name opened a few doors for us, and so it became easy. But every challenge comes to set you up for the next victory. So that's, yeah, I would say that I am glad for the journey we've walked this far.
Okay. Now we can move to your mission and impact to the society or to the community. SMS focuses on early childhood development, women empowerment, and healthcare. Why that?
Early childhood development, 0 to 3 years, is the most important period of any human being, because by 3 years, 70% of brain cognitive capacity is formed by age 3. Now, if you want to build a strong house, you do not focus on pimping the roof or the walls. You ensure you have a strong foundation. So early childhood development is our main focus in Stellar Mengele Foundation. Reason being, we want healthy and successful human beings. By you to get healthy and successful human beings, you must give them a strong foundation. So that answers early childhood development. We are all products of our early childhood years. Mother and women empowerment is our second objective. Mothers are the primary contact of every child, because the mothers carry the children in the womb, and then they nurture the child for the first 9 months, and then for another 1 to 2 years they feed the child from their breast. And so there's a lot of contact between a child and their mother in early childhood years. And a healthy child can only come from a healthy mother. A happy child can only come from a healthy, happy mother. And so we do not only focus on the women. Yes, we empower men, we work with them the journey, but our focus on women was because we need this. The child is our main focus. And so the second focus that impacts the child directly is their mother. And so when we equip the mothers with the tools that will enable them to give their children the best, especially that will enable the children to grow well, then we will have achieved. We empower the women through training. As I told you, when I became a mother, I discovered we are not prepared enough. Nobody tells you how draining it will be, how challenging it will be to even know how to hold a 1-day-old baby, how it is challenging to shower them, how you're supposed to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, as a woman and as a mother. So we train and equip them with enough knowledge. And then after our trainings, we put the mothers in small groups, communities of other mothers, averagely 30 women per group. And when we put them, it is a support group where they discuss motherhood and issues they are facing and their challenges and how to overcome them. They raise the kids also communally, and we also give them seed money that they do table banking with. Some of them can start businesses from aid, some of them can sort their small financial challenges. Like most of our women are in the rural areas, they do not have pay slips, they cannot access bank loans, they cannot access institutional loans. And so the table banking from our organization helps them to have access to finances to support their businesses, support their emergency needs. They repay back at a small interest that they set as the group. They grow their money and they continue empowering themselves. And we have seen this model work wonders. The last tenet of our work is health. And I will just say, health is the greatest wealth. We have seen people who have made a lot of money, but because they did not have health, they lost it all. And so we have been taught by very many people that it is better to live in a healthy lifestyle that will prevent you from losing all your wealth in the future. And we empower our communities with the education of healthy living habits for the parents, for the siblings, and for our babies, so that they can have a solid and strong life.
Okay, people would like to hear a testimony or a story of a child or a mother, someone who has been transformed through Stellar Mengele Foundation.
My favorite testimony of a family being impacted by Stellar Mengele Foundation will be very brief. We usually do surveys, and one day a man called our office and testified. It was last year. He called the office and he said, "Is this Stellar Mengele Foundation office?" And the officer said, "Yes. I wanted to say that since my wife started being trained by you people, she used to be very rough and tough with our children. She used to be very bitter and, she was beating the children. But right now, she's very sweet with the children. She's laughing with them, she's playing with them, she's singing with them, she's showing them love. My wife is cuddling the kids, but she never used to want to see her own kids. So now, there must be something you are doing in her life that is changing the way she's handling children." And then he continued saying, "Can you please help her now to love me like she's loving the children?" And I, at that moment, knew we are making impact. We have testimonies of women saying, "I used to just be bitter and rough and tough with my child, and since I got this knowledge, I have become a better mother. I play, I sing with my child, I have stories with my child. There's a happier environment at home, even with her husband and other children, because of our trainings." And so that is my favorite testimony of Stellar Mengele Foundation work. We were awarded by the President of the Republic of Kenya last year for the exceptional work we have been doing in Kitui County with the women. And I think for the government of Kenya to recognize that we are doing something impactful in the lives of the community, it is something really to be proud of as an organization. So I was awarded a Head of State Commendation honor last year. This year also, during Women's International Day, we were honored by the Governor of Kitui County for the exceptional work we are doing with women. And so I think favorite moments are just so many.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'd like to know whether right now Stellar Mengele Foundation is facing any challenges.
Challenges, yes, there are very many. The more you grow, the bigger challenges become. Our biggest challenge right now is demand. We have very many people, communities, asking if we could take our workshops and our trainings to their people. Every training costs an amount of funds, and mobilizing that, the funds, is also a process. And so demand is a very good challenge that we have. Secondly, people that have other challenges that are not early childhood or women empowerment or health related also come to us asking for support, especially with school fees, with jobs, and all those. And an organization has to be focused on at least an area that they have picked to work on. We cannot do all the things, because if we also spread ourselves too wide, we may end up not doing a very good job. And so that is a challenge on how to assist people around us to solve other problems that are not early childhood development related. I say demand, and so with demand comes the challenge of funding. Funding non-profit programs is not a very easy thing. For you to get money to implement projects is usually a lot of work. We thank God that we have done the work we have done, we are doing the work we are doing, and we continue to hope that we continue getting the support we get from friends, Gift Connect International, and other partners to do the work that we are doing. But we have more things to celebrate and to be grateful for than the challenges that we have as an organization.
In 5 or 10 years, where do you see SMF?
Our dream is to impact 1 million years with the knowledge and the empowerment of nurturing care habits for early childhood development success. They are usually very simple things that you do, apart from the complicated ones. If you sing, with your child from even when they're in the womb, if you talk with your child, if you play with your child, if you read books with your child and tell stories with your child, if you count with your child, if you serve and return, show your child something and give them an opportunity to do it back. If you give your child a healthy and peaceful environment and watch the health of the child, you are going to have an absolute healthy child by age 3. If you love and be deliberate on loving a child, you will be able to stimulate the brain of this child to grow bigger and faster and healthier by age 3. And so we hope to get this message to over 1 million homes by 10 years time, and I think that will be our greatest achievement.
We know that running a foundation requires dedication and a lot of commitment and motivation. What keeps you motivated day by day to continue doing what you do?
Children and their mothers. Every day I sleep thinking of every other child that was born last night or yesterday, or the child that will be born today. Every mother that has joined the club of motherhood, sometimes without having the knowledge of the best knowledge of how to raise a child. And I have to be grateful to our health workers, all over the country, especially in Kenya, because they are the people that actually prepare mothers for motherhood, and sometimes they are overwhelmed, by the numbers of mothers. So sometimes they don't have a one-on-one with the mothers. But healthcare workers, may God bless you, especially those who work with pregnant in early childhood, mothers. God bless you. Yes.
Okay.
The children and the mothers, they are the ones that keep me motivated, and the fact that I want children that are born today to have the best childhood that I never had, and so that they can have a great and successful future.
Can anything make you stop the foundation?
Nothing. The foundation is an organization. Organizations sometimes go through challenges. I pray that it stays, it outlives me, because it's not about me, it's about, changing lives. Nothing can stop me from serving the people. Nothing can stop me from desiring and doing the best that I can for young children. So I don't think anything can stop me. This thing is a calling.
Okay. Maybe people in Nigeria, people in Ghana, Western Africa, or
in
parts.
Burundi, where we are going next week to
So,
empower mothers.
It's international.
Yes.
Those watching us and would like to maybe support either financially or even give an advice, where would you advise them to start?
Please, anyone who wants to work with us or walk with us or partner with us or learn more about us, we have a website. Please go Google Stellar Mengele Foundation.org, Stellar Mengele Foundation.org. The foundation page will come. Interact with our website. It is very interactive, and learn more about us. And if you want to partner, karibu sana. In Kenya, karibu sana means you're very welcome. If there's something you can do to be a blessing to me and to this journey of early childhood development and nurturing care, would be to give yourself at least an hour every day to spend deliberately with a child. Children are going to be in charge of our lives, in charge of our legacy, in charge of this country, in charge of our world, when we will have no strength to be in charge. And so the best investment anyone can ever make is to invest in a child. My greatest request to everyone who hears this voice is please invest an hour or half an hour every day to have a conversation, to play, to sing with, to love, to just be present to a child. It goes a long way. If you do not have a child yet, you can do this on the phone. Please call a friend, that allows you and that trusts you to call their child, call your sibling. Please give a moment of your day to a child. You will see the impact in a few months' time.
Okay. One last question.
Thank you.
On my behalf and that of 1,000 others, you can finish by briefly explaining about table banking.
Table banking is a model of offering financial solutions, within or amongst ourselves. So people, in our case, women that we have trained, come together. They contribute, small amounts that they can afford, that they've set for themselves, or they get financial support from an organization like us. And when one of them has a need for money, they lend to that person. When they lend to that person, they pay back with a small interest. For example, if they lend you 1,000 Kenya shillings, you pay back, 1,000 with a 500, with a 50 shillings on top or 100 shillings on top. All this money goes back to the kitty, the table banking group. So if each one of us borrows, and puts an interest of 100 shillings, and we are 30 of us. When they all pay back, the group which could have had 10,000 will at that moment have 13,000, an extra 3,000. So it is a banking system that is locally arranged, and people grow their money together. They solve their financial situations, amongst each other. They grow their money and keep supporting each other. So that is what we call table banking. We call it in other language chama, but there are different types of chamas. So table banking is strictly for lending people, growing their money, lending more people.
Oh, that's all. We are so grateful for your time.
Thank you very much.
Got what you wanted.
Asante.
The story is inspiring.
Thank you.
The journey is one that is so nice, and your dedication to making a difference is very remarkable.
Thank you very much. I also appreciate you for taking your time to listen to our story. Thank you. Please touch a child's life wherever you are. It doesn't have to be your biological child. You never know which of the children you help will be a blessing when you need it. God bless you.